guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Katie Wismer. I'm an author and an editor. I have 8 books out currently. They're all linked down below in the description. I write bloody and spicy vampire books, emotional contemporary romances, and poetry. And I'm really excited about today's video because I did something similar like a year ago, or I guess it would have been more than a year ago now. I like to make goals videos towards the end of the year for the next year. And something I started doing last year is going back at the end of the year to react to the goals to see if I did any of the things that I said I was going to do in the year. So that's what we're doing today. We're gonna look back at the goals that I set for 2022. I haven't looked at this video and I don't even know how long. So I really don't know what to expect. I don't remember the majority of what I said in that video. I'll have it linked down below if you want to see the original goal video. And thank you so much to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video. This is perfect full circle because they actually sponsored the goals video that we'll be reacting to last year as well. Ana Luisa is a jewelry company that I've been working with for quite some time now, and I'm a huge fan of them. They make sustainable and really high quality jewelry pieces, so you can feel good about the purchases that you're making and that they're not having a negative impact on the planet, while also finding high quality pieces that are more affordable. Basically, all of the pieces that you see me wear all the time are from them. They're my go-to. And if you are looking for some semi last minute, you still have a little bit of time holiday shopping, I think this would be a great place to start if you're looking for your mom or a sister or something like that. They have a November sale going on right now, and I know that they sell gift sets, and those gift sets are 50% off right now. So if you want to do a little gift bundle and make it easy for yourself, definitely grab those while they are super discounted. I also have a code that I'll have down below in the description that should get you 20% off. If you want to know the names of any of my pieces, feel free to ask. Some of my favorites are my mood ring that I got this year. I wear it pretty much every day. I've gotten pretty much everything of theirs that was a snake. That's, you know, the vibe with my book series and stuff. So we've got this really cute snake ring. I've got the little snake huggy hoop earrings. I'm absolutely obsessed. They make my favorite rings. They're super comfortable, and I've got chubby little fingers, and finding rings that are big enough and also still cute has always been hard. So if you're like me and you have a hard time finding nice rings, would recommend. They're also constantly releasing new pieces, so there's always fun new stuff on their website. Make sure to check the link down below in my description if you're interested in doing a little bit of holiday shopping while the sale lasts. And other than that, let's get into the goals, or reacting to the goals. Also, shout out to Jessie for my new Canada mug. Makes it look like I'm being like healthy and drinking tea. It's an energy drink. Okay, so I do remember that I talked a lot in this video. We're not gonna watch the whole thing together now. If you want to watch the whole thing, it'll be linked down below.
So this coming year, actually, I feel like in most of these goal videos, people are like talking about how they want to accomplish all of these things and they want to improve in their career and they want to grow in all of these things. And I'm so freaking career focused. I always have been. And I feel like my career is my strong suit. It's where I've gone the furthest in my life so far. It's definitely what I focused on the most. So actually this coming year, I'm trying to let my career take a little more of a back seat because I focus on it so much that I feel like I neglect other parts of my life. So this coming year, the goals I'm going to be sharing with you have to do with my career, obviously, because I think that's what you guys are the most interested in hearing me talking about. But overall, I feel like my goal for 2022 is to stop focusing on my career so much at the expense of other parts of my life.
Okay, so that's not even into the list of goals. That was just kind of like the theme of this year in general, overall vibe. That is something that I focused on a lot this year. It's something that I'll be continuing to focus on. It's a work in progress. Like it is something that I work on. It's not something that I forgot about. It's still hard for me to do. It's, like I said, a work in progress. So I find that it's really easy for me to prioritize my career and my work over everything else because I love doing it, and I see results from it, and it's easy to ignore other problems if you have that kind of focus. So that is still something that I'm focusing on. It is still something I'm trying to change, focusing more on my health, my physical and mental health, focusing more on my relationships with my family, my friends, all that kind of stuff. I do think I did a good job this year. I did try.
So for 2022, in 2021, I published 3 books, which was a lot. I published The Anti-Relationship Year, The Marionettes, and then Wicked Souls is coming out in December. And so publishing 3 books was a lot. And so for next year, I'm planning on publishing 2. We'll get into it with some further down bullet points how that might change, but the 2 books I'm definitely hoping to publish in 2022 are book 3 for the Marionettes, which is called Bloodless Ties. And then I'm also hoping to publish this standalone romance that I wrote this year and I haven't touched since, and I'm hoping to get back to it. I have a rough draft of this standalone that I need to revise still, and then Bloodless Ties I'm currently writing the rough draft of. So these 2 are the things that I definitely want to publish in 2022. I actually have a release date set for Bloodless Ties now, November 15th, and I'm really hoping that the standalone will come out in the summertime. I feel like it's a summer book, so that would be ideal, but we'll see if it's ready in time.
So yeah, Bloodless Ties did just come out. However, the standalone is still not out, but I'm not upset about it because I did work on that book a lot this year. I was saying in this video that I had a rough draft version of it. I have gone through several revisions. The book is now twice as long as it was originally. It used to just be one point of view. I added a whole second point of view. I sent it off to a developmental editor. That didn't go well, slowed me down. Now I have my proofreader booked, and the book is going to be done and out of my hands by January, and I'm planning to publish it in like February or March. So I have gotten a lot of work done on that book this year. It didn't come out this year like I had been wanting it to. However, I'm not upset about it. I still put as much like time and effort into it this year as I wanted to, you know? I don't know if I'm gonna mention my poetry collection in this video, but I did publish a second book this year. It just was my poetry collection instead of that standalone.
Also, in regards to books I want to be working on next year, I really want to get back to writing Gracie's book. If you've been following my nighttime writing vlogs, that was a book that I started writing. I wrote about 10,000 words for, and then I ended up having to put it on pause because I was trying to finish Wicked Souls. So I have about 10,000 words of it. I have a lot of notes for it. I have a pretty good outline for it. So
okay, before I say anything else, Gracie's book, I still have about 10,000 words of it. It's still on pause, and I still want to get back to it. I was just talking about it in my release day vlog for Bloodless Ties. So I did just read through that like the other day, and it still holds up, is what's crazy, that I wrote it so long ago, and still when I'm reading through it I'm like, damn, this is good. Like, this is funny. I love this. Like, I'm still just as excited to write it as I was when I sat down and started it. And I do have a plan for it now. I have a title for it now. I have other plans. I'm not going to spoil it yet. It'll be more of a surprise. But I am planning on getting to it. We're just wrapping up the things that I was further along in the process with first. Like, Broken Perfect Lies was closer to being done, so we're going to finish that first. Bloodless Ties was closer to being done. Finish that first. It's in the queue. We're getting to it.
At some point I really want to get back to that. I don't know if I'll end up publishing it next year, but I would love to get at least a completed draft of it. Gracie is a character who was introduced in the anti-relationship year, and this is something I've talked about on my Patreon, but I haven't really gone in depth on my decision process with this. So if you want to talk about it, we could talk about it later. Gracie, like I said, was introduced in the anti-relationship year, which is the second book in my Pact series. However, if I end up publishing Gracie's book, I've pretty much decided I'm going to brand it and market it as a standalone.
This is still true, kind of. It's not going to be a part of the Pact series. I just said I wasn't going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you anyway. Gracie's book will not be a part of the Pact series. However, she is a character who's introduced in one of those books, so if you read them both, it's like an Easter egg. It's fun. However, it's also not going to be a standalone. It's not my plan. So Gracie's book is just going to be a first book in a different series.
And that would be another like new adult romance. Gracie is a freshman in college in the anti-relationship year, and this book follows her after she's graduated. And the next thing on my list is hopefully figure out how many books the Marionettes series will end up being. I keep saying, everyone keeps asking me how many books are there gonna be. I don't freaking know. At first I thought there were gonna be 4 books and I got 4 covers made, and now I'm thinking the series might end up being longer. I think I'll be able to figure it out once I finish writing the rough draft of book 3. I think that'll answer a lot of questions for me. So I really want to figure out how many books it's gonna be because I really don't know. At least 4, possibly 5, possibly more.
We still don't know. At first I was saying, I hope I'll figure it out after I finish writing the rough draft of book 3. Then I was like, I hope I'll figure it out by the time I finish revising and releasing book 3. We don't know. We don't know. More on that in the release day vlog for Bloodless Ties. I do talk about it.
I want to move my Pact books into Kindle Unlimited, and the day that you're watching this, the 29th, I think I just did. So if you want to read my first 2 books, the Anti-Virginity Pact and the Anti-Relationship Year, they should be in Kindle Unlimited now. So again, there's a lot of reasoning that we could discuss about that. If you're interested, I did kind of talk about that on my Patreon page also, but that's something in the new year we're gonna try. I'm putting more books into Kindle Unlimited, and we're just kind of experimenting with that. So far I've been a wide author, and then I ended up releasing the Marionettes into Kindle Unlimited as an experiment, and it performed so well in Kindle Unlimited. And I've just heard so many other authors give advice against Kindle Unlimited, and they had such a bad experience with it, and so I kind of took that as like, oh, I shouldn't do that. And I think one thing that I've really learned with self-publishing is you have to do what's right for you, and not everything fits everyone, because I tried it and it worked so well for me, like so well for me. That doesn't mean it's gonna work well for everyone else, but you know, blindly listening to people who say it doesn't work when it did work for me, like that doesn't make any sense. So another thing this year, don't blindly listen to other people's advice. You're never gonna know if it works for you unless you try it out yourself.
This is so cute to me. She had no idea. She didn't know. So I had been moving the Pact books into KU with the hope of breathing new life into them. They weren't selling terribly, but they weren't selling amazingly at that point. A few months after I put them into KU is when the anti-relationship year took off, specifically in KU, and now it's my bestseller. It's my most read book. I think at least like a good 8,000 of my book sales for that book are because of Kindle Unlimited, like their page reads. So that was a good call. Good job.
I also really want to improve my newsletter this year. There's like a couple of different sides of that. Like I want to send them out more regularly. I want to offer good quality content in them. I want to grow my newsletter list. I want to update my onboarding sequences, so like you get welcome emails depending on how you've subscribed to my newsletter. Leading up to this most recent book release, Wicked Souls, I've been sending out a newsletter every other week on Tuesday with something special in it, a surprise in it. And I think, I mean, let me know down below in the comments if you're subscribed to my newsletter, if you've enjoyed this. It seems like people have really enjoyed this. The first Tuesday I sent out a bonus scene that you can't get anywhere else but my newsletter, and it's from the love interest point of view from the Marionettes series. The second one was an early cover reveal for book 3. The third one was a sneak peek, so you could start reading the first chapter of Wicked Souls early, and it's just been fun.
I completely forgot that I did that. Damn it, now I'm like wishing I had done something like that before Bloodless Ties released, because that was fun. I did like doing that, and people seemed to be really excited about that. I wish I would have watched this video like last month. Dang. Yeah, the newsletter, it's something I always say I want to get better at. It's something I say I always want to put more time into, and then I never do. I did grow my newsletter list pretty significantly this year though, because that story that I was talking about in this video from the love interest point of view, that was a bonus scene, I ended up adding it as a reader magnet at the end of the Marionettes books. So if you want to get the bonus scene, you can subscribe to my newsletter, and I've onboarded thousands of people to my newsletter through that, just being in the back of my books. So we have grown the list this year. I haven't gotten any better about sending them out more often. I really just send it out when I have some kind of announcement. And this has been on my mind also recently, because I went to the Romance Author Mastermind earlier this month, and one of the talks was on newsletters, and they talked about some ideas of like things to do that I'd never thought of before that I thought was really interesting. So this has been on my mind before. I know.
And then writing that bonus scene from Reed's point of view that I sent out in the newsletter, people seemed to like, so I think I kind of want to write some more fun bonus things like that. And now I have that bonus scene linked in the back matter of the books to encourage people to subscribe to the newsletter. So I want to do more stuff like that just because it's fun, and then also to help grow my newsletter list.
So I did write some other bonus things, not for the newsletter though. I released hardcovers of the Marionettes books also this year, and I wanted them all to have bonus content in the back that you can get anywhere else to give people an incentive to get them. So I have bonus stuff in the back of all of the different hardcovers, so, and it's different bonus stuff than what I offer in my newsletter. So book 1 has the most bonus content. It also has an alternative cover. That one has a bonus scene from the love interest point of view, annotated chapters where I like scanned some of the pages and I wrote my notes in the margins, an annotated copy of a chapter from the rough draft of the book talking about what changed. There's a letter from me with like some fun facts and like what inspired the series and just like talking like that. There's some character art in it. So book 1 has the most bonus content. Wicked Souls also has a different bonus chapter from the love interest point of view. It's a long bonus chapter though. And then Bloodless Ties that just came out, the hardcover, has a bonus chapter from a different point of view that you've never seen before, which I haven't like revealed anywhere what it is because I kind of want it to be a surprise when you get the book. I think it's fun. And then it also has some character art in it. So I did start doing more bonus stuff this year, but instead of it just being for the purpose of growing my newsletter. It was more of the purpose of like selling more copies of these alternative versions of the books, and it worked well. And I honestly haven't gotten a lot of feedback back about the bonus content in particular. So if you've gotten any of the hardcovers, if you want to tell me what you thought of the bonus content, I would love to know, because I don't really know how people felt about it. I haven't really gotten any feedback about it. I've just seen the sales for the hardcovers, which continue to be pretty high, so I'm taking that as a indicator that people like it.
Talking about my audiobooks. So if you've been around for a while, I started making audiobooks I think last year. So I have one for the Anti-Virginity Pact, the Anti-Relationship Year, the Marionettes, and Wicked Souls is currently in production. And so I absolutely love my narrator for the Marionettes series, and I've loved working with her, but the audiobooks are so expensive.
Okay, I'm gonna cut her off because she's gonna talk for a long time. Yes, audiobooks are incredibly expensive. I'm gonna have a video going up probably after this one about how much it costs to publish Bloodless Ties, if you want to see exactly how much the audiobook costs this go around. So in this goals video, I was saying I wasn't planning on making a audiobook for Bloodless Ties because I knew how expensive it was going to be. I ended up setting up a Kickstarter and we got the goal funded, so I did make the audiobook. It was just as expensive as I thought it was going to be. So I do stand by what I said in that video. Without the help of that Kickstarter, I wouldn't have made the audiobook. So thank you if you participated in the Kickstarter. As of right now, the audiobook's not out yet. It's done. We're just waiting for ACX to give it the approval, go ahead, quality is good. So any day now, maybe by the time this video is live, the audiobook is live. If it is, I hope you enjoy it. I really, really like it.
If you saw my video talking about how 2021 went for me, I showed like 5 different pie charts kind of analyzing how my income has changed over the past 2 years-ish since I started my business to going full-time. And the one percentage I really want to focus on this coming year is my book income. It started off when the first year I started publishing at 10% of my income, and then it moved up to 20%, and then in this most recent report that I did, it was at 27%. So I would love to get my book income up to 33% in 2022, so a third of my income is coming directly from book sales.
Why am I gonna cry? Oh my god. I don't know where that's coming from. Okay. We'll do an updated video. We'll do some pie charts and stuff. If you've been following me along this year, I think you kind of know what happened this year. I don't know, that's just kind of like touching, like how innocent I was. I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if I got to like 33%. This year, I'm so grateful for this year, and I just I'm gonna stop talking. I don't know why I'm gonna cry. I don't know why.
If I only have 2 books coming out, if I have more space between releases, can I really expect to see that income continue to grow compared to a year where I had 3 books come out? We'll see. So stay tuned. We'll check in with that later. The next thing on my list, I am wavering back and forth on whether or not I want to publish my 3rd poetry collection that I put together.
I'm gonna cut her off because I'm probably gonna talk for a while. I did publish the 3rd poetry collection. It's called Breakable Things. It came out in April. And basically I was wavering on whether or not I wanted to continue publishing poetry because it was so personal, and mental health wise it was just like hard seeing people criticize that compared to a novel. A novel is fiction, obviously. It's not about my real life, so it felt less personal, but people criticizing poetry felt like they were criticizing me. Long story short, I did publish the collection.
Another thing that I'm excited about for 2022 is I really want to start doing more live streams, like writing sprints and stuff with other writers and other author tubers.
I did a lot of that at the beginning of the year, maybe it was the end of the year. I don't even know how many streams we did, like 10 or more, and I had different people on every time, and it was really fun. That kind of trickled off just because my life got so busy with me moving and everything, and it was also hard because this year I wasn't really drafting a lot. I wasn't writing a lot. I was revising, and I didn't have as many books come out, so writing sprints to me are the most fun when I'm writing a rough draft of a book. When I'm editing or if I'm doing client work and stuff, I still do sprints sometimes, but it's not the same vibe. So I would like to get back to that, honestly. In 2023 I would like to go back to co-hosting writing sprints with some other people. I've just stopped doing sprints kind of in general. Sometimes they're helpful to me, sometimes they're not, so it just kind of depends on my mood. But I do just really like the community aspect of it, which was one of my goals for this year, was to you know, make more friends in the community and hang out with more people, and I do think I did that. Just like the way that I did that ended up being different than expected.
I want to, at the very least, maintain my income that I made this year or increase that. Like I was saying, this first year being my first time being full-time working for myself, I didn't really know what my income was going to look like, because although I was making more money from the streams of income that I have now, I also lost a lot of streams of income because I wasn't nannying anymore, I wasn't teaching anymore. I didn't have all of these other things coming in. So in addition to like having to earn enough to replace those, you know, I'd have to like earn even more to see my income grow, and I'm surprised that it actually did increase this year a little bit. So next year, now that I have like a baseline, I don't know if this is making any sense, but now that I have this year's, you know, income that was just from these streams of income, we'll have the same streams to compare to in 2022, if that makes sense. So I'll be interested to see if it grows from there.
I'm excited to make that video where I like take the pie charts and break everything down. Spoiler alert, it did grow this year. I also added some different income streams this year. But what I was saying about how it'll be interesting because I do have mostly the same things to compare to, and this will be my first set of years that I can do that. I am interested to look at everything.
Another thing I want to do is stop focusing or wasting my energy and my time on social medias that I don't like and that I don't care about, and focus on the ones that I do. I've been stretching myself a little bit too thin, and I have all of these different social media accounts, and there's some that I just like genuinely don't like, or there's just some that I like more than others. So like TikTok, for example, I've been really enjoying. I find that really fun. I've also found it to be the most successful with converting into book sales. So I want to focus more on TikTok. I want to post there more consistently. I think I'm around 5,000 followers right now, and I started it like a few months ago, so I've grown pretty quickly by my standards. So I'd love to get to like 10,000 next year. Not that like the numbers really matter, I don't really care about my follower count, but it's just like an easy way to gauge things. So mostly I want to focus on posting consistently and continuing to find new readers over there, but if we could get to 10,000 followers, that would be amazing. Other ones, I've pretty much completely stopped posting on Twitter. I never go on there. I don't really like Facebook. I don't really use it that much. I don't even like Instagram. I like posting on my stories, but I don't like posting on my feed. So, and then I like YouTube. So I've decided this year I'm just gonna kind of pull back from the ones that I'm not enjoying, and it's not like improving my life in any way. I just focus on the ones that I am actually enjoying.
I don't think I went on Twitter a single time this year, or really Facebook, except I'm in some like author Facebook groups, so I like to go in just to like see the group stuff. I did start to like Instagram more this year because I started posting on Reels with my marketing experiment. I grew my TikTok. I think I'm at like 14,000 followers now, so it definitely grew a lot this year. And I am looking forward to spending even less time on social media this coming year because I just hired a personal assistant to take over.
Another thing, I want to try and market my backlist titles some more. I find it easy to like get so hyper focused on new releases. Like I've been so focused on the Marionettes series this year that I've just kind of forgotten about all of my other books. So I just want to try and give them a little more love this year, breathe some more life into this series, which is why I do have some fun things planned for the Pact series. And we'll see about the poetry collections. We'll see what we do.
I don't know what fun things I had planned for the Pact books. I don't know. I did market them more. That's why the anti-relationship here is doing so much better. The poetry collections, we tried.
Like small, I've been saying this for a while. I'd love to get some character art from a Marionette series.
I just got more character art made for the Marionette series for Monroe, Kirby, and Valerie. It's in Bloodless Ties hardcover. Oh, I hadn't even got my first character art made yet. I also got one made of Reed and Valerie. It's in book 1.
The last thing on my list is I want to fall back in love with YouTube and reading. I feel like because I spend so much time writing my own books, but then also because I spend so much time reading my client books for my editing clients, I have read basically nothing this year. I swear the only thing that has kept me reading is the book club that I run over on my Patreon page, because we read a book a month. If I did not have that, I probably wouldn't have read like anything this year. This has been my lowest reading year I have seen since I started tracking my reading, since like 2013. I've read basically nothing. I read like one book a month, which is our book club book. And I'm just like not excited about books. I haven't been like anticipating anything. I haven't really been enjoying reading, and it's just, that has been like my biggest hobby and my biggest passion and my biggest love for the longest time, and I'm really sad that I've lost it. I think it really has just been like me being super stressed and too focused on like work and everything. So I think we could get it back, but I also feel like I was trying to read books that I would have loved before, but just like aren't really my genre of choice now. So I feel like maybe I need to be reading different things. But yeah, I really want to get back into reading and actually enjoy it. And then I also feel like I've lost my love for YouTube quite a bit. If you've noticed, I used to post like 10 videos a month and now I'm down to like 3 videos a month, with the exception of November because I've been posting a video every day. I think the pandemic went into that a lot, of just like all of my days looked the same. I didn't leave the house. There wasn't much to talk about. I say that I post 3 videos a month, but then I also post several a month on Patreon, and then I have my vlog channel and stuff. So I have been making quite a bit of content, and maybe that's why I've fallen out of love with it, is I've like been spreading myself too thin of trying to like create all of this content. But I just used to really enjoy YouTube, and now I feel like it's just something that I don't know. I don't really know. I've fallen kind of into a rut with it. So I discontinued the book club on Patreon actually. So I'm not even reading that much. If I thought last year I read nothing, this year, truly, I'm looking at like a little stack of books behind you. I don't even know how many books I read this year. I think they were all nonfiction. I don't think I read a single fiction book this year. I started plenty. I don't know if I finished any. Yeah, the reading didn't happen, and I was actually surprised to hear that I had started feeling that way about YouTube all the way back then, a year ago, because I feel that way about it now, and I didn't realize that I have been like struggling with like feeling kind of like in a slump and like not like I don't love it anymore for a full year. I didn't realize that had been an issue for that long. That's surprising. Yeah, I don't really know what to say to that. I haven't sat down to really consider 2023 and make my goals list for the new year just yet, so that's a different topic. This is mainly just focusing on 2022. So yeah, I did not fall back in love with reading this year. I did not fall back in love with YouTube this year. I did achieve a little more balance in my life. I did do better about marketing my backlist. I did increase my income and start making my books a larger percentage of my income. I worked on the projects that I wanted to work on. I published the books that I wanted to for the most part. And overall, I'm happy with 2022 as a year, both career-wise, but then also just my life-wise and how I feel like I've grown. I'm really, really grateful for this year, honestly. This year has been probably my biggest year for growth in more ways than one, not just like book sales growth. I just feel like we are set up for an even better 2023. I'm really looking forward to it. It feels weird to even start thinking about the new year. I haven't really started processing that yet. I haven't really started thinking about that yet. But yeah, those were my goals of 2022. I am surprised. I feel like I did better than I'd been expecting. I have not looked back at this goal list since then. So I'm surprised I stuck to it as well as I did. I think I did a pretty damn good job. And the things that I didn't stick to, I don't really care about, to be honest. I'm not upset about it. So I would be curious if you make a list for yourself, if you go back and like reflect on it, how you did this year. Did you do the things you wanted to? Did you focus on the things that you thought that you would? Make sure to check out Ana Luisa down below in my description if you are interested in grabbing something during their November sale. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Yeah, I think this video is already super long, so that's gonna be it. All my links are down below in the description, and I will just see you guys in my next one very soon. Bye. No.